Hello everyone, welcome to week 2 of the CCA training on Android Studio. So today what I'm going to do, Android development. So what I'm going to do is make two videos. This is going to be the first one. As I mentioned before, you have the option to use Android Studio or Eclipse, which has the ADT connection, and basically the Android Bootcamp book is all around the Eclipse, but I'll try to add some stuff in there with Android Studio so that you kind of get an idea of it. Those of you who have kind of already gone through and looked at Android Studio, you'll be able to see that it's pretty much looks the same as Eclipse. And I think it was a smart thing by Google to make the interface very similar, at least at the beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about Android development, but right now we're going to pretend we're creating a new project. And most of you have already did this by sending me the thing for week 1 by providing your name and so forth. So in this example, we're going to go ahead and click Start a new Android application. We'll call it My CCAC app, whatever. One thing is you'll want to make sure that you have an uppercase, because if you start it with this, as you notice down here, it says application name for most apps must begin with uppercase. Sorry, I can't talk. My CCAC app. All right, and we'll leave the domain as is. Click next. This right here, this option is really nice because you can make this compatible for TV. You can make this compatible for arm wrist watches, and eventually, if we have this package right down here installed, we'll also be able to make apps for the Google Glass. But in this case, here's the thing. If you notice right here, if you look, see, we did 4.03 ice cream sandwich. It tells you what API is targeting, but it also tells you approximately what percentage of devices will be able to run it. So if you have a newer device, let's say I don't have 5.1 on here, but let's say that we have 5.1 on here, it's only going to hit like 1 or 2% of the population. So right here, if you run this Froyo right here, it says 100% of devices that are active on the Google Play will be able to play. So we're just going to stick with that one for now. Hit next. All these different activities or templates per se. Right now for this template, we're just going to keep a blank activity. Hit next. Activity name, layout name, title, you can name it whatever you want to, but I'm just going to let it as is. Hit finish. Right now the project is building. All right. Great. So now my project's built. So let's see here. All right, so you'll see here the activity. So we see the rendering problems, but we'll fix that by choosing something different. But you see the activity here and you're like, well, what is activity? It's basically nothing but a section or a page of your application. So you could compare it to a website. It could be like your home page or an about page, etc. So we have this information up right here. It automatically populates Hello World immediately. So we have right up here at the top, here's the different versions. So you could choose what version you want to kind of edit it with. This one right here, sorry, not that one. Let's see that. You could do a different app theme. You could do different Nexus, whatever. See, like here, you could do the TV. So there's TV devices out there. There's wristwatches, etc. So you could kind of debug for all that and see how it looks and if it's going to work. But in this case, what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to go up here. This is the Android device monitor. This is a really good, we won't get into this now, but eventually I'll talk about it in a later lecture. It's more or less a way to monitor the performance of your application. So, when you push an application out there, sometimes you go and click on an application and it just kind of blows up. And that means there's some type of bug. With this right here, will test all those capabilities and make sure that you're putting something out there really good. There's the Sdk Manager. That's if you want to add some other packages, such as if we wanted to develop a Google Glasses, we could add the package for that as well. This right here is the Avd Manager. So I'm going to click on it. What it already does is it has some of my options up there. I'm going to choose this one right here to run it. So you could come in here and edit it. And what's nice is you could come in here and change it so it fits things. You have landscape. You could choose both of them. You could choose how much memory you want it to use and so forth. So that's the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to play on that one for now. So it's going to start my AVD up. As you see, my AVD is starting up as it is. do is once this gets started up, we're going to go ahead and click play and just run it and see what happens. Alright, so right now we're going to hit play. When I say play, this button up here looks like a play button on your old CD players and so forth, or even on your MP3 player. Just hit play. Alright, so now it comes up and says what emulator you want to use. As I showed you earlier, I'm using the emulator Nexus. So I'm again click OK. Alright. As you see, Hello World is up and running. Down here in the bottom is a lot of, this is sometimes when your computer, well, when your phone starts up, you don't see this, but basically this is what it is. It's just a bunch of lines doing different things for the application to start up. So we're going to come over here. Oops. And we're going to, you see where it says Hello World. I'm going to copy that just in case. And we're going to change it. We could change it to Welcome to CCAC Android Program. And hit that. And then we're just going to run that. As you see here now, we have Welcome to CCAC Android Program. So we changed that. I took out the string before it was the string, and I just put the text in here. Or you could do over here, if you come over here, you could click on the text, and you could come down here and make your selection. Or you could double click on it here and make your selection. You could go in there and change the text color around. So if you want to choose a different color, you can choose the different colors from here. System color, whatever you want to do, you could do it here. As you see, the text has changed. So you can make a lot of different options, changes there as well. One of the other things I wanted to kind of point out is, I mentioned about Sdk Manager, I mentioned about Avd Manager, but I'm going to talk about the programming aspect of it right here. So when we look at this aspect of it here, it automatically populates this. So this right here is kind of, I would say that Oncreate is kind of like the meat and potatoes of this application when it starts up. So the main activity basically is just a Java class, and it comes from the activity class right here. And if you actually click Control, this will kind of underline and tell you where it's coming from. Won't let us click on it because it goes to a class that's basically been depreciated. It's not really in use anymore. It's obsolete since this is an older version, but it'll let you try to extend to it. This part right here is the first thing it starts up. So let's say that when your phone boots up, and before it gets to this display screen, it comes here and says, okay, it's the Oncreate, and then it displays this information down here. It's basically saying that, you know what do you want me to do? So it says the first thing it needs to do is it needs to create an instance, which is this guy right here, and then it says, okay, the next thing I need to do is go to the layout, which is basically right here our layout, because we're saying this is the splash screen. This is the first layout that it's going to see. Then you have options down here as well. You have the Oncreate options menu. That basically ties to these guys down here. So anything that you do, whether you go backwards, maybe click on this and show another app that's running and so forth. That's what those options are for. And then it comes on the on option item selected. That's basically if we wanted to add something. Right now there's nothing here, but let's say that we add an underscore, a link of some sort. Once they clicked on it, then it would go somewhere. Those are some of the things that you can do. And it basically starts at the life cycle. So I'm gonna put a link on this demo here, and I actually have a thing here with a page I want to show you. So this page right here, and I'll send you this link. If you see it right here, this explains the activity lifecycle, which is basically what I explained. So we come down here and you look at the Oncreate, it starts right here, activities launch, Oncreate, and then on start. Now we don't have an on start there, but we could place an on start there if we wanted to. So there's your on start, and then you could do an on resume. Basically all you're going to do is you're going to come down here and do the same thing. You're going to do an override, public void, on start, and so forth, etc., etc. So you're going to put information, I'm not going to put etc. there, but you get the gist. You're going to start your class or your call like this. So I could do a open parentheses right there, and I'm ready to kind of start something for on start. These are just different functions that you could add within your programming code aspect of it. So as you see here, and everything in the middle here is activity running. There's the ability to make your application fail, kill it. You get your pause, your on stop, and so forth. So this is kind of a little basis of this demo. There'll be a little bit more in other tutorials, but for now this is kind of the start of it. So I just want you guys to kind of get the understanding of how this works, get in here, play around a little bit, make some things happen, and so forth. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon.